So going back to coincidences and these kind of things that happen in the Matrix that kind of let you know what is the objective of the Matrix or what they're trying to distract you from. And then the most important thing is the individuals that they use to distract you from certain things. Now, I did a video recently where I was explaining how there's one relative of mine that every time I'm doing something important, she will send a WhatsApp message, right? And I'll be like, what the heck? And it'll be like a stupid meme. Like, it'll be the most ridiculous thing that means nothing, but it'll always come right after something that you're doing that's more important, right? So there are certain people, okay, in the Matrix that, again, and this is, and I'm going to be real militant about it. I'm going to be real militant about this message. The same way in the Bible it talks about the wheat, separating the wheat from the tares, okay? You need to look at it like this. If somebody is willing to participate and obey the Matrix, although granted, some of them are fearful, I can understand that. I can see the things that happen in this Matrix. I can pray real hard for the Lord God Almighty to fill them with the Holy Spirit, to give them that sense of courage, that sense of authority and dominion. I can pray for that. But at the same time, in this day and age, you will always have those individuals that serve the Matrix. They serve the Matrix, and they will always serve the Matrix. That's fine. But at the same time, as far as I'm concerned, when I say the Matrix is going down and you're still there serving the Matrix, and you see that I'm clocking all of the different hints and all of these things, it's because the Matrix is going down. It's because we are advancing and we're seeing it. So even though it seems as if this system was running a long time and it was going well, obviously right now it's not. So therefore, everybody, like we say in Spanish, cuela tu café claro, right? You need to strain your coffee real clear and decide what team you're on, because there's only either Jesus team or against. And then, therefore, if you are serving the Matrix, that means that you are capable of serving anything, because the Matrix will present to you whatever it wants. If they want to put a monkey with a funny hat on and say, now you have to obey this person, you're going to sell out and obey that person. If they tell you you need to take this mark or that mark, otherwise you can neither buy or sell, then that's what these folks are going to do. They're going to serve the Matrix. So let them go down with the Matrix. That's fine. The problem is not them. The problem is the individuals who don't want to be anymore part of that system. These are the people who I guess, like those of us who are the ones praying or moving that energy, these are the people that we are praying for. We are praying for the people who don't want to be there, who want to have a different life. So as militant and as mean as that might sound, as far as I'm concerned, anyone who serves the Matrix, anyone who's trying to, again, do anything to block you, they can go on blast. So I'm going to give you why I started this conversation. So there's this lady, right? And initially, like, I liked her and everything like that. Like, she did like some programs with my kids and all this for language purposes, right? And she apparently, I mean, obviously she works with the high school, and I've already told you that their high school is like atrocious. These are the people that were like about to like blame kids with detectives that weren't even in school for bullying and all of these kinds of things. So this little school in this little area is atrocious. It's run atrociously. They do a lot of shenanigans, like where I have a list of emails where like they'll say that your child was picked up when they weren't picked up, or they'll say that like they didn't receive the letter that you wrote to say your child would be absent, but yet they receive the complaint letters where I'm telling them, like, how did you not receive the letter if I wrote the letter? So they receive all the other emails that I send them, except for the actual email. Like when, for example, I say like, oh, okay, today one of them won't be coming in, or they're sick or something like that. They just do a lot of shenanigans, and they do it on purpose. There's like one of them that's very parasitic in the school office that particularly has the nerve sometimes to even like call me after I've sent 2 emails, saying that they won't come in, like just to be facetious, right? So I've written emails about this and everything to these people. So then I remember the lady who I actually kind of liked, right? She's not necessarily with the school. I mean, obviously they work together, but she's a little bit apart. So then one day, like when I was doing something, it was something that I was doing. She quickly sent me a message because the school was looking back because I was catching on to things they were doing. So I was doing it all in the emails. So like to be a distraction, she's like, "Oh, could we have a meeting and we could do it at the school?" I was like, "No, I don't." I didn't say I didn't like those folks. So I was like, "No, I don't have time." I was like, if you want to do it at your office, I could do it at your office. I don't have time for these folks. Like, I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that. I just like, no, I'm not available that day, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know. But anyways, the idea is I don't want to see any of these bees at that school because I can't stand them. I've never had so many problems with a freaking school system. And granted, this is the Matrix and is doing things to bother you. But at the same time, when we were in Spain in the little mountain place, like everybody was like normal and the school was actually like good. And I didn't even like the amount of letters I'm telling you that I have to write to the school. So anyways, so I noticed that she did that and then I canceled because I said like, I'm not interested in, and I didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like I wasn't interested in going. So I said, if you have another meeting, then it's your office, whatever. But I noticed there have been several times where I'm doing something and her call will just come, your calls are coming in just a tad bit too quick behind the motions that I'm doing in my life that are significant. So that is a red flag for me in the Matrix. I can clock it. I can see just like my relative with the WhatsApps, she does phone calls, okay? Like physical phone calls where she'll call me about something and it will be kind of like vague and it'll be for like far in the distance. So you're like, so this time when she did that today, I was actually like doing my banking, right? I got paid down to whatever I have, paid whatever I had to pay, and whatever I have is what I have. And I noticed that like right after when I'm about to get up and like go right now to the bank, I went to the bank to get it. And mind you, remember what I tell you, every time I go to a bank, you have all the police cars, like, and all these like weird stuff happening, right? So mind you, also, I think they like do things like that to make it seem like you're receiving a like. I mean, Simlandia cannot fool me anymore because these folks, 5 minutes time, they know when sometimes you're on a live and they're I don't know. Anyways, long story short, so she sends that message. She calls in just a tad bit too quick after I'm about to like step out, so I can tell that that's a distraction automatically. And she just says something like this. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Mind you, I'm probably not going to go. I'm just going to make something up. But I just go, yeah, okay, sure. But I tell her, can you put it in writing? Because this is what you got to do. You got to make these folks put it in writing. She's like, oh, no, I'll send you a text message. Very wary of text messages because I noticed that all the time at least here in France, when they're trying to do shenanigans, they do a lot of text messages on the phone. Nobody likes to put things in writing and paper or in email. So I always so I said, okay, so you don't have to put it in. I said, can you send an email? She goes, no, I'll send you a text. I was like, all right, don't worry about it. I'll send you an email confirming that you called me today and that's what you said. That's all. It takes like this second because I kind of liked her, but it takes like this second for me to switch if I especially feel that you are participating in the distraction because you can go down with the little demons too. I'm just saying, and that goes for anybody. That goes for family, friends, whomever. If you participate with this dying matrix, this matrix that is meant to keep the children of God disaligned and disconnected and asleep, you can go down with the matrix too, whatever that entails, okay? Because they are going down in a flame of fires from the pits of hell. That's your problem. You choose your side. You choose your side. That's your problem. Now, all I can do for the most part is pray for those individuals in this simulation, those people who have the fear still kind of there because they're like unsure, whatever, because I saw that firsthand. I've seen this firsthand, and I've seen the nervousness in certain ways when certain Sims have to interact with me. Okay, believe whatever you want to believe. I've seen it. So I understand that. I can pray for that. We can work with that. We can work with that because that shows that you have some kind of consciousness. You just, it's normal, right? Because you have a lot of bots around us that make us feel like this is a norm and this and that, and we're all in a simulation, and some of these folks don't even have souls, but they're playing a part for you to believe in something. I understand all that. I understand that. We can work with that. We cannot work with people who are sellouts and sell their souls. You came to this simulation, hopefully, to find your soul, not to sell it.